Good evening. I would like to call to order the March 24th, 2025 meeting of the Westchester School Board. Tonight we welcome students Riley Jones and Clara Ambrosini from Westtown Thornbury and their principal, Dr. Cruz. Let us begin with the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I'm Clara Ambrosini, President of the Student Council.
And I'm Riley Jones, Vice President of the Student Council.
Tonight we will share some of the fun events going on at Westtown Thornbury Elementary School this March. This month, WTE hosted fun events like Career Day and Everybody Belongs Spirit Week. They provided opportunities for the students to be their true selves while exploring what they want to be when they grow up and to always include others no matter what they look like. On Career Day, students were encouraged to dress up as professions they hope to pursue when they're older. Lots of the classrooms had visitors to tell us about their jobs and what they do for a living. The students were exposed to careers they might want to pursue in the future. Fire, police, paramedics, and SWAT visited also to share about their jobs and let their students know what it is like to ride in their vehicles. Overall, this day was super fun and it taught the students what it is like to pursue a career and got their wheels turning on what they want to do when they grow up. For Everyone Belongs Spirit Week, each day had a theme to dress up. Monday, everyone wore mismatched clothing for We Are All So Unique Day. On Tuesday, everyone was encouraged to wear yellow for You Are So Special Day. Wednesday was a day off, but we resumed on Thursday with superhero shirts for Acceptance is Our Superpower. Friday, we wore mismatched socks for World Down Syndrome Day. This week, we have 2 additional spirit days. Wednesday, we will wear purple for Epilepsy Awareness, and Friday, we will wear blue for World Autism Day. The Spirit Days are important to support kids with Down syndrome, epilepsy, and autism, and focusing on being kind and recognizing how to love yourself. WTE loved all of these special fun events. We look forward to do more events like these in the future.
In the Special Design Lab, we learned something new every class. One cool fun project we just finished in Design Lab was researching and building a recyclable material cardboard museum for STEM-related careers. This was a collaborative project for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders working together to build different parts of the museum and conducting research. This is a great project and I really enjoyed it. 2nd graders are researching animals from their nonfiction animal books in the classroom. They are getting multiplication and math and are also super excited for their field trip to Media Theater in a couple of weeks. I'm sure 2nd graders are having fun with their activities.
In 4th grade, the writing classes celebrated Black History Month by crafting resumes for notable Black Americans. This project helped students become better writers while learning about the contributions of these influential figures. They also learned valuable skills to help write a solid resume. In math, 4th graders are working on mastering multi-digit, multiplication, and division problems. They are also loving their fiction unit in their reading classes.
5th graders have been working on Decimals, a book called But Not Buddy, Earth and Space Patterns, Mystery Science Unit, and writing TDAs. We just wrapped up writing a memoir and Water in the World, another Mystery Science Unit. We have a field trip to Citizens Bank Park and the Museum of American Revolution on April 15th. Me and my other 5th grade students are super lucky to be able to do all of these cool projects and things.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
Have a great evening.
Thank you, Riley, Clara. Dr. Christopher and I are going to come up and get a couple of photos with you, okay? Thanks for letting us know what's happening at Westtown Thornbury. I have certificates for you, so we can just practice for your 5th grade graduation. So I have Clara first. Let me put this one down. Here, so I'm going to hand this to you. Let's move over here and let you get a photo right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Usually we have a girl and a boy in it. Let me take your hand, and then I'll hand this to you, and we'll get a photo with Mom. Thank you. I got that. Riley. So we'll do the same thing. So I'll shake your hand. There you go. Right?
get on your filter, citizens wedding party.
Great job.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
Great
Have a
job.
fun spring. Okay, we have no special announcements this evening, so next up is roll call with Ms. Chair Short, Board Secretary. Thank you.
Vice President Bevilacqua,
Here.
Director Christie,
Here.
Director Dietrich,
Here.
Director Durnell,
Here.
President Fleming,
Here.
Director Fry, Director Herman, here, Director Parkinson,
Here.
Director Wormsley.
Here. Okay, thank you, Ms. Chair Short. And next up is public comment. Ms. Sundquist, do we have any public comment on agenda items?
We do. We have one public comment on agenda items. So I'll read this statement. Now is the time for public comment on agenda items. The board will follow the procedure established by policy 903. All individuals wishing to comment this evening were required to properly register prior to the designated start time of tonight's meeting by completing the information specified on the public comment registration card. Once called to the podium, each commenter will begin by stating their first and last name and municipality. Each speaker must limit their comments to 3 minutes or less per public comment period. Commenters may not cede their time to other individuals. Individuals will be notified by a time clock when their time allotted for public comment has expired. There will be a second public comment period at the end of the meeting for comments from residents following these same guidelines. The board asks that all commentary be directed to the board as a whole. Public comment may be interrupted or terminated if the commentary exceeds 3 minutes or if the commentary is obscene and or threatening in nature. The commenter for this period is Judy DeFonso.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Judy DeFonso, still living in East Goshen of all places. I noticed some inconsistencies with the comprehensive plan and the way it's been filled out. Our very own David Christopher is listed as the chief school administrator on the gifted ed plan, but the other plans list Dr. Reynolds as in that same role. And I just thought that there should be some consistency with that sort of thing. In addition, I noticed there was a principal who no longer works for the district mentioned in the induction plan, chapter 49. Again, it just kind of bothers me that you know, it's inconsistent with, you know, what goes on. And that basically was it, just that inconsistency in the comprehensive plan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judy. Okay, next, we will vote to approve the minutes from the February 24th, 2025 board meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? Dr. Dietrich, may I have a second? Director Bevilacqua, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I do have an executive session announcement. Ms. Cherishore, please note in the minutes, the board met in executive session tonight, March 24th, 2025, regarding a legal matter. Now we'll approve the agenda for tonight. I don't believe we have any amendments to tonight's agenda. Now is the opportunity for board members to request changes to the board agenda. Are there any requests? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the March 24th, 2025 agenda? Director Dornell, may I have a second? Dr. Herman, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And this leads us to the superintendent report with Dr. Christopher.
Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. As always, I appreciate the time and dedication of our board members, staff, and families, and our community partners who make WCASD such a strong and supportive district. Before our student representatives and board members begin their reports, I want to take a quick moment to shine a spotlight on some of the standout moments from this past month. So this past month is March is Women's History Month, and our schools have been celebrating in meaningful ways. One standout event was Fernhill Elementary's Women's History Month Career Fair, where students had the opportunity to hear from incredible women making a difference in their field. Data engineers, police officers, Navy pilots, and many more inspiring professionals shared their journeys, challenges, and advice, empowering Bobcats to dream big and reach for the stars. We had an elementary career and community connection days, continuing that theme. We're going to continue to strengthen our partnerships between students and the broader community through career and community connections. East Bradbury Elementary hosted Math in Action Day, where community members demonstrated how math plays a role in everyday life and potential careers. Westtown Thornberry Elementary brought in EMTs, firefighters, photographers, pilots, engineers, business owners, and more to share their professions with students. To make the day even more fun, students dressed up as their future dream careers. Hillsdale Elementary's 5th graders had an exciting career day, hearing from a professional lacrosse player, a Coast Guard lawyer, and other inspiring guests who gave them a glimpse into potential futures. These experiences help students connect classroom learning to the real world, and I want to thank our educators and community members for making these events possible. We have an upcoming Harlem Wizards game on Friday. If anyone has seen that, this makes Linda Cherishore happy that I'm talking about it this evening. But this weekend, we'll bring one of our most exciting community events. The Harlem Wizards game really celebrates and supports the Westchester Area Education Foundation. The event usually raises somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000 or more to support district programs. The energy inside East High School's gym Friday night will be electric, and I'm told there are still a few tickets left. So if your weekend isn't already packed, I encourage you to join us for a fun night that benefits a great cause. It is also Music in Our Schools Month, in addition to Women's History Month. And our students have been putting on fantastic performances across the district. This weekend, Henderson High School will perform Anything Goes, and Bugan Middle School's Drama Club will present Crazy for You. If you're looking for a fun way to spend your weekend, tickets are available in our newsletter and on our website calendar. Before the stage, beyond the stage, I should say, our student musicians continue to shine at the highest levels. After months of dedication and 3 rigorous auditions, 11 Westchester students have earned a place in the PMEA All-State Festival, representing the pinnacle of musical achievement in Pennsylvania. So that's a huge achievement to have 11 students actually in that. These students will represent WCASD at the PMEA All-State Festival on April 9th through 12th, depending on what they're doing, either orchestra, band, or chorus, I believe. I also want to shed some light on a couple of cabinet positions and some awards that we received this last month. So I'm proud to share that the Westchester team has been awarded the 2025 Pasville Gold Award of Excellence in School Facilities, recognizing the outstanding leadership and operations of our facilities department. Thank you to our facilities and operations team for their exceptional work in keeping our buildings safe, efficient, and well-maintained for our students and staff. So congratulations, Mike, we appreciate that. It was actually a lot of work, is what I was told, so we do appreciate you doing that. In addition, our communications department won 5 awards from the Pennsylvania School Public Relations Association in excellence at the communications competition. These awards reflect the team's dedication to keeping our community informed, engaged, and connected with incredible work happening across the district. I would also like to let the community know that I want to acknowledge that the Charter School Appeal Board has issued a written decision upholding the district's denial of the revised application for the Valley Forge Classical Academy Charter School. The Charter School Appeal Board affirmed the original concerns raised, including the lack of community support, incomplete curriculum alignment, and issues related to services for special education and English learners, budget deficiencies, and the overall inability of the proposed school to serve as a model for public education. This decision reflects the thorough and thoughtful process taken by the school district to ensure that any new charter school meets high educational standards and serves the best interests of our students. Finally, I do want to acknowledge that we have received some concerns from high school staff members about unanswered questions they have about the proposed high school schedule. Dr. Connolly and I have scheduled meetings with staff members who have shared concerns with us, and we'll continue to do that. And we look forward to meeting with those teachers too. We've also scheduled meetings with our science department chairs and also with our specialty programs such as child development staff to address specific questions they have shared with us as well. We are continuing to take visits to neighboring school districts. We'll be going to Downingtown East and West in the next week to look at how they're operating their Lunch and Learn and to create plans for things we may need to do to support Lunch and Learn in our buildings. We will also continue to update our FAQ document as we refine plans moving forward to an implementation in 17 months in the fall of 2026. As always, thank you for your continued support and partnership. I look forward to seeing many of you at our upcoming events and celebrations. Now we'll turn it over to our student representatives.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all have had a great month so far and that your March Madness brackets are going strong. Unfortunately, my bracket isn't doing too well, but fortunately, East sports teams are. Congratulations to Grace Hurley, Emily Schwartz, Emma Anzac, and Lily Rower for qualifying for the swimming state champions. Another congrats to Jack Bannon, who was qualified for the indoor track national championships in Boston next week. Good luck to all of these athletes. Congratulations to the baseball team for their big win over last year's state semifinalist D East, and to the boys rugby team on their impressive 47-5 victory over Roman Catholic High School. The rugby team is made up of players from East as well as Henderson and Ruston, but we're still looking for more athletes to join. Last week, girls flag football won their first game with a 44-6 victory over Academy Park. The first touchdown in school history was scored by Annalise Kubasco, and the first interception was by Sophia Keith. They look to remain undefeated tomorrow at Chester. On March 20th, the Science Olympiad team competed against 28 other high schools in the region. They brought home medals from 16 events and placed overall third for our division. They will represent us at the state's competition in Altoona, PA next month. We're proud of their accomplishments and wish them the best of luck next month. The Environmental Club is hosting a clothing swap this month where students can donate their clothes in return for a free bag of thrifted clothing. They can also stop by the library to shop for and purchase clothing at a low price. EHS had a couple of field trips this month. Students recently visited the Westchester Police Department for a job shadow experience. During their visit, they had the opportunity to hear from various professionals within the department and learn about different careers in law enforcement. The students also received a tour of the station. The 10th grade English teachers organized a field trip to the People's Light and Theater to see A Raisin in the Sun. Almost 90 students from different grade levels attended the performance on March 13th. Mrs. Moreno-Davis's upper-level Spanish students created a mock college fair to display information, in Spanish of course, about various universities and their offerings. Newer Spanish students were the guests at the fair and were tasked with asking the presenters about their schools. It was a highly engaging, interactive activity that had students speaking, listening, and writing. Last week, other students in Spanish classes, like myself, were taught how to salsa dance. I might not be ready for Dancing with the Stars, but let's just say my salsa skills are seasoned. Last week, Miss Flynn's creative workshop students engaged in a blackout poetry experience, which they merged color and poetry. The results were impressive and demonstrated what exceptionally creative and artistic students we have at East. Thank you, Ms. Flynn, for inspiring them. I'd like to give a shout out to Dinah Palambage, a junior who has earned one of the string bass chairs in the All-State Concert Band. Dinah has represented our music department at several festivals this year with Mr. Selfo and Mr. Orlando. He thanks both of these teachers for helping him become the musician he is today. East hosted its 5th annual coding contest at Westchester University this month. 16 high schools came together to compete in coding challenges. Thank you to our WCASD staff, including Mr. Scholl and Mr. Dormer, and a congratulations to all involved in the successful event. East will be hosting its 15th annual House of Hope charity concert benefiting Home of the Sparrow, a charity supporting local women and children facing homelessness. Come to the East Auditorium at 7 p.m. on April 4th to support performers from East and surrounding schools and contribute to our effort to fundraise for Home of the Sparrow. On March 10th, BSU hosted Westchester Mayor Lillian DeBaptiste. As a graduate from Henderson, Mayor DeBaptiste shared her life experiences. She impressed upon the students the importance of surrounding themselves with people who want what's best for them. Each year, the WCASD and the Westchester Area Education Association award 10 deserving seniors from each high school with the Spelman Humanitarian Award. The 10 honorees from each high school exhibit the spirit of volunteerism and citizenship that was central to Dr. Spellman's life. Congratulations to the following East students who will be honored at reception in April: Michelle Chen, Jada Cooper, Nuala Coyle, Sophia Fu, Wesley Heaster, Sneha Mahadavan, Pooja Menon, Devika Nair, Kira O'Flynn, and Amelia Piambino. East's production of Singing in the Rain was spectacular. Thank you to all of our students, directors, and parents for this unforgettable production. Last week, Mrs. Bailey received quite the surprise when Dr. Christopher showed up to her first period class to present her with the Westchester Waymaker Recognition Award. As a student in her AP Calculus class, I can attest to her dedication as an educator. Mrs. Bailey ensures that all students feel valued and capable of success and does it all with a smile on her face. So thank you to Mrs. Bailey for setting the standard for East excellence. This concludes my report for this month. Enjoy the rest of your month, and let's finish out the third marking period with a bang.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well this evening. Here's my report for the month of March. As for our music department, Henderson is sending 8 students to the PMEA state competition at the Kalahari Resort in the Poconos this year, a school record. Representing our choir will be juniors Jackson Ogden and Leonardo Garcia Rodriguez, and seniors Daniel Cruzan, Constantine Silverstoff, and Brooke Kaufman. Representing our band will be oboist Heidi Krug, bass clarinetist Nate Niederman, and tuba player Skylar Trudeau. Congratulations to all of our musicians on their noteworthy accomplishment. Are you looking for a night of love, laughter, and lively tunes this weekend? If so, you're in luck. This year, Henderson's music department is hosting its rendition of Anything Goes. Set sail for a journey of a lifetime. Tickets are $5 and shows will run from Thursday to Sunday. We hope to see you there. As for other happenings at Henderson, on Friday, March 14th, our World Language Honor Society hosted its annual World Language Honor Society induction. This year, just upward of 100 students enrolled in Spanish, French, Latin, Italian, and German were given the opportunity to join their respective language honor societies in recognition of their outstanding academic performance in their second language course. Congratulations to all the students honored. On Friday, March 21st, Henderson students participated alongside millions of students worldwide in the Rock Your Socks event in accordance with World Down Syndrome Day. By wearing mismatched socks, Henderson students celebrated the accomplishments and contributions of our fellow warriors with Down syndrome. Tonight at the Brandywine campus of the Chester County Intermediate Unit, Henderson's JV academic team will take on Great Valley and Downingtown STEM high schools in the county championship. We wish them luck in their match. Additionally, I'd like to offer the Henderson varsity academic team congratulations on their second place finish at the Downingtown STEM Invitational and fifth place finish at the Mather Invitational. On April 2nd, Henderson alumni and current County Commissioner Eric Rowe will visit Henderson to speak to the Students and Civics Club. Commissioner Rowe will speak to students about careers in government and public service, as well as issues facing Chester County. We Warriors look forward to his visit. Speaking of the Henderson Students and Civics Club, the club was honored earlier this month by new voters at the Pennsylvania Secretary of State's office for their efforts to register voters during their October voter drive. Congratulations to them on their hard work. The Henderson Model United Nations team had the opportunity to visit New York City this month and compete at the National High School Model UN competition. There, the students had the opportunity to tour the United Nations Secretariat, General Assembly, and Security Council while engaging in an exciting simulation in which they learned about global affairs and diplomacy. As for sports, the spring season has just kicked off. Our boys tennis team has had a great start to the season. The boys are currently 4-1 and have defeated both of our crosstown rivals, East and Ruston. We wish them the best of luck tomorrow as they take on Kennett. Also, our boys and girls lacrosse teams are gearing up for their seasons after many weeks of preparation. Later this week, the boys and girls will play their season openers against Downingtown West at home. Go Warriors! That concludes my report tonight for March. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Hello everyone, it's awesome to be back and I hope you're having an awesome month so far. Ruston has had quite a busy month and I can't wait to update you all. On March 6th, Ruston held its annual college and career fair during lunch and learn and fifth period in our main gym. We had around 50 representatives from several universities, jobs, internships, and volunteer opportunities. People were even able to do a pull-up challenge with the U.S. Army, and some students got free haircuts. Like, could you imagine your child coming home with a new hairdo? On March 7th, our HOSA club had the opportunity to host guest speaker nurse Elizabeth Hatsey and Dr. Ellison, who got to speak about their roles and experiences in the NICU. On March 13th, our project management and leadership classes held their second annual dodgeball tournament. We had the privilege of honoring 12 guests who had military service and had the fun opportunity to watch our own teachers verse them in a game of dodgeball. Some other memorable moments include clubs selling Chick-fil-A, baked goods, Dunkin', pizza, and more. We also had the police officers verse the junior class in one of the games. Honestly, this day was so fun and filled with so much energy. On March 18th, our student council and BSU joined forces to host this year's talent show. It was such an entertaining event that was able to raise over $600. Ella Lavasser and Ella Marcatonis won first place with a beautiful duet featuring a song from the musical Jekyll and Hyde. Simon Kohler placed second with a cello solo, and Desmond Saito placed third with the piano solo. Everyone did an amazing job, and we're looking forward to next year's talent show. The Reston Science Olympiad team had an incredible day at the Central East Regional Competition. They placed second overall and will be heading to states on April 26th. Reston was among the top 5 in 19 events, including anatomy, wind power, ecology, and more. 2 students from our team, Christian Miller and Alex Abramov, participated in the science fair. Christian came up with an experiment using a Bluetooth speaker and got first place in the Earth Science category for the sophomore division. Alex worked on a model of a hybrid nuclear fission fusion reactor and placed first in the physics category at the county fair. We're so eager to see what they will come up with next. This past weekend, 30 members of the Model UN group traveled to Washington, D.C. and represented Reston very well. A special shout out to senior club leader Molly McCoy, who represented Iceland, for receiving the award of Most Outstanding Delegate. Congratulations to junior Addie Steve for receiving a verbal commendation for representing Rwanda. Our Students' National Honor Society has planned an 8th grade mentor trip for tomorrow, March 25th. A group of 24 seniors and juniors will talk to current 8th graders at Stetson Middle School about high school, offering their advice, as well as delving into academics and involvement in Reston, along with addressing potential concerns they may have about the overall transition. We hope to ease and prepare them for the next big step in their academic journey. On Saturday, March 29th, the Reston Symphonic Band will perform at the Percy Grainer Wind Band Ensemble Festival in Chicago. The Reston Symphonic Band was 1 out of 5 groups selected to perform at the Chicago Symphony Hall, where they will be able to honor the music of one of the greatest masters of the wind ensemble tradition, Percy Grainer. Here are some amazing highlights to wrap up the winter sports seasons. 10th grader wrestler AJ Corp placed 5th in the PIAA state championships, and the girls swim relay team comprised of Claire Rizakis, Lily Greenwood, Eva Spear-Gibson, and Emily Thomas won 5th place at the PIAA state championships. Claire Rizakis also earned 4th place in the 400 fly and 6th in the 100 backstroke. Reston has been having an amazing spring season so far. The track and field team has 4 district qualifiers, including Cameron Barquist for shot put, Andrew Black for javelin, Anna Dacus for discus and shot put, and Miles Davis for high jump, and he ended up breaking our school record, which hasn't been broken in 3 years, in the high jump with a height of 6 feet and 4 inches. Good luck and congratulations to them. The boys lacrosse team had a huge win against Howard for 10-2, and congratulations to the Westchester High School's boy rugby team on their impressive 47-5 victory against Roman Catholic High School this week. The team put on a dominant performance, scoring 9 times, with Aaron Alexander from Reston earning hardest worker of match honors on Sunday. Everyone has been working extremely hard this month, and I can't wait to see what Reston will do next. Thank you.
Well, thank you to Anna, Peter, and Madison for giving us the highlights of all the wonderful things going on at the high schools. Now, do all of you know what you're doing next year yet? Or what are you doing? Where are you?
I think I'm going to the University of Pittsburgh.
Oh, great.
For early education.
Oh, great. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
How about anyone else?
It's probably between William and Mary and Syracuse right now.
Okay, great.
I'm still a junior, so I got.
Oh, you're a junior, okay, so we'll have you back. I guess you won't be the student rep again next year though, will you? Okay. Well, we'll look forward to hearing next year where you're going to college. All right, thank you very much. Okay. And next up, we have Dr. Ulmer with the monthly personnel report.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mrs. Fleming, Mr. Revelacqua, members of our board. Our personnel report for the month of March 2025 is as follows. With removals from payroll, we have 2 resignations, 1 paraprofessional and 1 custodian. We also have 8 retirement notifications. Mr. Mark Fabian, third grade teacher at Mary C. House Elementary School with 35 years of service. Mrs. Marion Jackson, Spanish teacher at Henderson High School with 31 years of service. Ms. Colette Keenan, English teacher at East High School with 23 years of service. Susan Kelly, special education teacher at Exton Elementary School with 8 years of service. Christina Maurer, art teacher at East High School with 22 years of service. Mrs. Robin McWilliams, ELD and gifted teacher at Stetson Middle School with 35 years of service. Lisa Williams, special education teacher at Hillsdale Elementary School with 35 years of service. And Don Young, building system supervisor at Facilities and Operations Center with 17 years of service. This represents 206 years of experience and service in Westchester Area School District. We wish all 8 of our retirees a happy and healthy retirement, and we're thankful for their service. We wish them all the best in this next exciting chapter in their lives. In addition to payroll, we are recommending the hiring of 1 teacher and 1 athletic trainer. Additionally, we are also recommending the hiring of 2 secretaries, 1 accounting technician, and 1 substitute custodian. Furthermore, we're recommending the hiring of 9 site administrators for temporary summer staff. In personnel events, I communicated and delivered 1 voluntary transfer in support staff. Also, we are recommending the approval of 1 sabbatical. In additional information, we're reporting an adjustment of years of service for an upcoming retiree, 4 start date updates, a resignation update, club coach payments from the NFL for girls flag football. 12 teachers have earned tenure in the state of Pennsylvania, all of which were found satisfactory within the last 4 months of the 3rd year of teaching in accordance of the school code, which is law. I'm also seeking approval for 4 drivers and 1 aide from On the Go Kids busing. In supplemental contracts, we're adding 9 annual contracts for the 24-25 school year, 1 addition for the winter season 24-25, 8 additions for the spring season, 1 contract removal in 24-25, and 3 adjustments for the 24-25 contracts. We're also bringing forth 3 additions to our tutoring list and 3 additions for game help. I'm respectfully requesting board approval for all personnel matters listed above. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ulmer. May I have a motion to approve the March 24th, 2005 personnel recommendations as presented? Director Parkinson, may I have a second? Director Bevilacqua? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll now vote to approve our consent agenda. I don't believe we have any changes to the consent agenda tonight. So may I have a motion to approve the March 24th, 2025 consent agenda as listed. Director Durnell, and a second. Director Dietrich. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And we'll move on to our committee reports. First up is Director Durnell with Teaching, Learning, and Equity.
Thank you, President Fleming. The Teaching, Learning, and Equity Committee met on Monday, March 17th. We have 1 action item, and that was to discuss core instructional materials. Dr. Dina Dormer provided an update on the process through which the Elementary Science Committee selected a program to recommend to the board. With the July 1st scheduled onboarding of the new STEEL standards through the state of Pennsylvania, the committee has been focused on designing a curriculum aligned to these new standards and is recommending mystery science as a core instructional material to support this work. It came down to 2 different programs, both of them that the committee ranked both of them really pretty equally. The course that was selected, mystery science, was chosen not just because of substantial savings over the other program, but because of the quality of the program. Both programs were great, and we're getting one at a good price. Also, as discussion items, the Department of Elementary level, Dr. Missick shared about departmentalizing at the elementary level, grades 4 and 5. Several teachers participated in neighborhood district visits. The 3 schools that will be essentially piloting the program next year would be East Goshen, Starkweather, and Fern Hill, with the hope that, we'll carry on with all of the 11 elementary schools in the future. We also heard, we welcomed Miss Marita Barber to give an update on the Collegiate Charter Schools charter. She was present to answer any questions, which there were none. And then also we had an equity update by Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown talked about student access and opportunity. He also gave an update on restorative practices that our district is using and will be using. And finally, he mentioned the 41st Alice Thomas BSU banquet that was held recently. And it was a great opportunity, a great event. Finally, our next Teaching, Learning, and Equity Committee meeting will be Tuesday, April 11th, and you're all invited to attend. That ends my report.
Okay, thank you, Director Dornell. We do not have a need for a Personnel Committee meeting in March. So now Vice President Bevilacqua will give us an update on the Property and Finance Committee report.
Yeah, good evening. We had a Property and Finance meeting last Monday, March 17th. The first item on the agenda was, as we normally do, review the budget forecast model. Mr. Scully reviewed the budget forecast model and the changes to the 24-25 expense projections. The total 24-25 adjustments resulted in a $1,034,000 savings. It will be utilized to reduce the 25-26 budget gap. Mr. Scully then reviewed the net of all changes to the 25-26 projections. There was an increase of $444,000. Mr. Scully noted that Chester County at the current time would have a tax increase of 3.8%. Delaware County would have a tax increase of 3.9%. As we continue through the budget process, the administration will continue to review the projections for potential savings over the next few months. The next item Mr. Scully reviewed, a financing process and timeline. Mr. Scully recommended that the Property and Finance Committee approve the parameters resolution authorizing the financing team to proceed with a 2025 general obligation bond in the amount of $55.5 million to fund both the elementary school renovation plan and other capital projects, and for the potential partial refunding of a 2014 AA bond. The committee recommended approval of this parameters resolution. Tonight I do have a motion for the whole board. It reads as follows: approval of a parameters resolution for the 2025 general obligation bonds in the amount of $55.5 million to fund the elementary school renovation plan and for the potential partial refunding of the 2014 AA bonds. I so move.
Okay, I have a first from Vice President Bevilacqua. Do I have a second? Director Christie? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Yeah, roll call.
Sorry about that. Okay, so Ms. Cherishore, can you do the roll call vote?
Sure. So if Vice President Bevilacqua,
Yes.
Director Christie,
Yes.
Director Dietrich,
Yes.
Director Fry, oh no, she's not here, sorry, Director Herman,
Yes.
Director Parkinson,
Yes.
Director Walmsley,
Yes.
Director Dornell,
Yes.
President Fleming.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, continuing on. Dr. Ulmer then presented to the Property and Finance Committee information on a contract for a Comply program that's through a company called EduLink. It tracks and manages employee fulfillment of district requisites, state mandates, and other important compliance items. Currently, the district's using multiple platforms that require extensive manual tracking and input to ensure compliance with legally required local, state, and federal mandates. The 3-year contract starting in 25-26 school year would be a cost of $77,695. It includes a 5% multi-year discount and a 5% client discount. The total fees based on the total number of staff that we employ at that point. The committee recommended approval of a 3-year contract for the Comply software by EduLink at the cost of $77,695. Continuing on with our Property and Finance Committee meeting, Mr. Burster presented the committee with bid results in a previously approved 25-26 capital reserve projects. They are as follows, these bid awards. for district-wide playgrounds to George Eli and Associates for a total award price of $108,264. District-wide fencing repairs to Indigers Fence and Decks for a total award value of $74,000. District-wide floor replacements to Donald E. Reisinger Incorporated for a total award price of $93,695. East High School interior painting of the second and third floor for Donald Reisinger Incorporated for a total bid award price of $147,975. The Property and Finance Committee recommended approval of these 25-26 capital reserve project bid awards as stated. The last item, Mr. Burster also presented the committee with an update to the capital plan to delay the removal of a couple existing modular classrooms and construction of the permanent space at Exton Elementary for 1 year. We are seeing an increase in enrollment at the Exton Elementary School, and additional space provided by the modular classes will be required to meet the educational needs of the school for next school year of 25-26. The committee recommended approval of the capital plan update to delay the removal of these existing modular classrooms as stated and the construction of the permanent space at Exton Elementary for 1 year. More to come on that topic in later meetings. The next Property and Finance Committee meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 26th. So there's a change of the date due to the Easter holiday, so it'll be Tuesday, April 22nd. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Vice President Bevilacqua. And our last committee report is Dr. Dietrich with Policy Review.
Thank you. Policy Review Committee met on Monday, March 17th. The committee reviewed some time-sensitive policies, completed the review of Section 600 Finances, and began the review of Section 700 Property. Our next meeting will be on Tuesday, April 22nd, and that is my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dietrich. And we'll move on to other reports with Director Dornell. Let us know, please, what's going on at the IU.
Thanks again, President Fleming. The Chester County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors held its monthly meeting on Wednesday, March 19th at the Technical College High School Pickering campus on Charleston Road in Phoenixville. Dr. Joe Fullerton, Director of Career Technical and Customized Education, introduced Aaron Petters, Principal of the TCHS Pickering, and Julie Taney, Instructor of the Animal Science Program. Together, they presented highlights of the program's structure, achievements, and future plans. The Animal Science Program provides students with hands-on experience in animal care through co-ops, internships, and participation in the Future Farmers of America. Currently, 36% of the students engage in work-based learning, and 100% are FFA members, with many earning leadership degrees. Additionally, the program recently launched its first-year participation in the PA Apprenticeship Program, allowing students to earn 6 college credits at Delaware Valley University. Ms. Taney also highlighted the program's partnerships with veterinary hospitals, farms, and pet care facilities, which provide students with real-world experience. Mr. Joseph Lubitsky, Director of Administrative Services, presented the draft of the 2025-26 marketplace budgets to the board members for initial review. The CCIU board is scheduled to vote on these budgets on April 16th, 2025. Mr. Lubitsky highlighted a coming increase of 2.87% in the cost of marketplace programs available for purchase by school districts, staying below the Act 1 statewide index of 4%. School districts will only be billed for the services they utilize. The next CCIU board meeting of directors will be held on Wednesday, April 16th at 7:30 at the Educational Service Center, Technical College High School, Brady-White campus in Downtown. That ends my report. I'm sorry, it doesn't end my report. I just want to make sure board members know that each year the CCIU hosts board appreciation dinners, and they're great events. It's a great opportunity to see what the students at TCHS do, all different types of fields. And we're invited to the April 30th dinner at the Brady-White campus. So that really concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Dornell. And next up, we have Director Christie with the CCIU Legislative Report.
Thank you, President Fleming. We last met in February, virtually and in person, and Chris DeFazio with the CCIU gave an overview, at the time somewhat fresh, overview of Governor Josh Shapiro's budget proposal, which he gave in early February. I understand it's the end of March. But just to highlight some of those things, he has proposed $75 million increased basic education funding, a statewide base cyber tuition rate of $8,000 per student per year, a $5.5 million increase for career and technical education programs, $20 million additional funding for student teacher stipends, doubling last year's investment to a total of $40 million. A $25 million increase for school repairs, bringing total annual funding to $125 million. $3 million to continue providing free menstrual hygiene products in schools. $55 million for child care worker retention recruitment. $10 million for early increases in early intervention, and a $15 million increase for pre-K counts program to stabilize the pre-K educator workforce. Additionally, there was a group discussion about the impacts of possible federal funding cuts and what that would mean for each district there attending. Additionally, another event that I believe I brought up last month, but the date has since changed. The CCIU holds a school director and legislator annual breakfast, so a bunch of school directors, our state reps, our state senators attend, and that is on May 9th, Friday, May 9th, at the CCIU on Boot Road from 9 to 11 a.m., and all board members are invited to that. There is no March meeting, which would have been tomorrow night. That was canceled, but our next meeting will be April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. at the Chester County Intermediate Meeting. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Christie. Moving on, we have 2 items of other business tonight. The first will be brought up by Vice President Bevilacqua.
Yes, thank you. We do have a motion. It's K1 on the agenda. And I'll read the motion as follows. Approval of the 25-26 technology E-rate bids to Optiv Security for a total award price of $391,254.84. I so move.
I have a first from Vice President Bevilacqua. May I have a second? Dr. Herman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And then our second item of other business will be brought to our attention by Director Darnell.
Thank you again, President Fleming. Approval is requested of the 2025 through 2028 comprehensive plan. I so move.
I have a first from Director Darnell. May I have a second? Dr. Dietrich. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we are now at the time for comments from residents on non-agenda items.
Yes, there are 6 comments this evening. I'm not going to read the statement again since we read it at the beginning of the meeting. The first commenter this evening is Steph Anderson.
Hi, Steph Anderson, West Goshen Township. I'm here to share a couple of the concerns I have about the proposed changes to the secondary schedule. The first being that calling it a schedule change is a little bit of a misnomer. When you look at all the aspects that will change and the things that need to be considered, space, facilities, curriculum, budget, staffing, this is a reimagining to how we're approaching secondary education, and I think calling it a schedule change is misleading. Second, the sentiment around all of this has been, this is a plan, this is decided, this is happening, we're moving forward with it. And a couple concerns and questions I have about that. One, have teachers been brought along the way meaningfully? Have you considered their expertise? Do you have alignment and buy-in from them? Another set of stakeholders, parents and families. We have not been officially communicated with yet about this. I know that there's an FAQ page, but that even has not been shared with families by the district. There's a lot of hearsay. We should not be finding out through Facebook groups and local email newsletters about significant changes in our children's education. Other things, there are items under consideration that I believe should involve board approval, facility staffing, and curriculum changes. How can we be moving forward so definitively and confidently when there is uncertainty, when there's a lack of stakeholder involvement, and the board hasn't even voted yet? I'm concerned by the lack of transparency in this process. There are many unknowns not being meaningfully addressed, considering that you want to implement this in a little over a year. The space to conduct an extended lunch and learn, I know that affects Henderson and Ruston. You're looking at an overhaul of curriculum, which means potential changes to graduation requirements, how we calculate GPA and loss of science labs. You're looking at potentially increasing staffing, which will affect our budget. With a momentous change like this, I feel like it would be irresponsible to move forward with a plan that is not fully formed. I just want to say I'm not against schedule changes. I think change is good, and I'm for assessing our curriculum to make it stronger, and I appreciate that this is coming from a place of wanting to make Westchester Area School District the best that it can be. But let's do it right. The district has determined the goal of implementing this in a little over a year, but we can slow down. Let's determine a plan that is best for our district, our students, our teachers, not pointing to other districts who have different needs, different students, different resources. Let's use data to make good decisions. The board deserves a comprehensive plan where all the unknowns and issues are adequately addressed and solved. I implore the board to please not move this forward until those issues are fully addressed and there is alignment among all stakeholders. Please involve and incorporate feedback from all stakeholders, students, teachers, and parents. Not just students who are graduating and won't be affected, and not pointing back to a committee that took place almost a decade ago that was not considering the same plan and has not reconvened since COVID. Let's do that before we decide to proceed. I fear that we are rushing toward a self-made goal without fully considering everyone involved, and there will be consequences if we don't slow down and do this the right way. Thank you.
The next commenter is Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson, Westchester Borough. As stated a moment ago, my name is Brian Johnson. I've been teaching and coaching cross country and track and field at Henderson High School for the past 16 years. I'm also a parent to 2 children in this district, and my wife is a teacher in the district as well. I'm concerned with the number of changes going on in the district. The first concern is the communication gaps into major decisions that are being made. For instance, I was only made aware of the change to the 4th and 5th grade changing to departmentalization model last week. My wife, being at the elementary level, had no idea this was coming. We don't necessarily have a problem with the choice to do so, but being a parent and not knowing a change like this is happening, and only to find out after the decision has been made, is problematic. It is the same issue I have without knowing about the change of schedule at the high school level. The only reason I know about it is because I'm a teacher in the district and not because I'm a parent. Concern 2 is the need to not only continue Lunch and Learn, but to double the amount for it. The only time students come to my classroom is to make up a test. The majority of students either play basketball, sit and eat food in the hallways, or walk randomly around the building. With an extra half hour being added to the day, there are a lot of additional concerns. How are we to know where a student is if someone is looking for them? How are we to make sure all 13 exits of the building are secure? There is currently no district-wide cell phone policy that is enforced. Many students will spend their time on their phones for an hour straight getting dopamine hits. With the original addition of Lunch and Learn, we lost 13 instructional days. By doubling Lunch and Learn, we will be losing another 10 instructional days. That is a month of instruction lost in the past 5 years. I can see the impact in my classroom because of the shrinking amount of review time in my AP classes. Prior to Lunch and Learn, I had close to a month of review time, and now I'm down to 2 weeks. With 10 additional days lost, I'm concerned I'll have no time left to review with my students. Reducing the curriculum is not an option at the AP level since the College Board decides what needs to be covered. I appreciate Dr. Connolly's willingness to meet with me and to discuss the schedule and for the invitation for me to see other schools utilizing Lunch and Learn. I will keep an open mind while visiting, but I hope the administration will keep an open mind in addressing concerns and listening to the teachers who are living with the issues of Lunch and Learn every day. This should be a partnership. I want to thank you all for your time tonight and listening to my concerns.
The next commenter is William Anderson.
Hello, Bill Anderson, West Goshen. I'm an English teacher at Henderson High School. I've been doing this for 16 years and I love what I do. I'd like to share my firsthand experience with Lunch and Learn at Henderson and to urge you to reconsider the proposed bell schedule. As I'm told, there are nearby high schools that have found success with a synchronous midday break for the entire student population. But our experience at Henderson has been different. So many students flood the cafeteria that the line stretches nearly to the door. Many end up late to their 5th period classes. The hallway upstairs from the cafeteria, our trophy hallway, is often lined with students sprawled on the floor, trying to eat their lunches while crowds of other students step over their legs. This also takes place in the library hallway, the foreign language hallway, the art hallway, and so on. Groups of students roam the building, gather in stairwells, settle into alcoves. The proposed bell schedule would double the duration of this, and it would cut the 4 existing lunch periods, worsening the cafeteria crunch. Some useful things occasionally happen inside classrooms during lunch and learn. In my classrooms, students make up missed quizzes and they seek editorial advice for their college essays. But these activities have always happened during the school day. We've only just synchronized them, and at a cost that makes the benefits seem negligible. The proposed bell schedule would worsen the facilities problems of lunch and learn, and significant amounts of instructional time will be lost. I suggest we fix our current lunch and learn before asking our community to support doubling it, especially at such great expense to structured instruction. My final comment is that after a decade and a half at practicing the art and craft of engaging students' interest in the classroom, I have to point out how disappointing it is to see our administration cite students' self-reported sense of the value of their education as an impetus for this schedule. I think most adults, hopefully most adults, who work in public education can understand the natural antipathy that teenagers have toward anything compulsory. Nevertheless, we are patient. We expect that they will, with time, experience, and maturity, come to see the value of their education. Thank you.
The next commenter is Amy Cheshire.
I am not as tall as he is, okay. Thank you, members of the school board and the administration. Well, we may not all agree on the details of the proposed high school schedule. I can tell you that the Westchester area high school staff is the best in the state of Pennsylvania. We also have the best students, as demonstrated tonight. And I know this to be true, not only as a Ruston teacher, but also as a proud parent of 2 Ruston graduates. We, the teachers, can be flexible about many things, but there are certain topics that we should defend vigorously. First, instructional time, and second, safety. Any new schedule must preserve time in the classroom. The adoption of the rotating drop-to schedule would reduce instructional time. Also, as an AP teacher, I cannot afford additional loss of time in the classroom. And I'm also concerned about the impact on programming like allied health and child development and the related ed practicum. 2 amazing programs, one of which my own daughter benefited from. She's now, as of this year, a physician assistant, Ruston grad. Allied health got her totally hooked on medicine. And number 2 is the ed practicum. That's growing future teachers, and I think we all know from the headlines that's a real concern, is a teacher shortage in the state. As for safety, the lunch and learn period can be an opportunity for remediation and socialization, but if that hour block is not properly supervised, it can become a liability. So how can we make the safety goals of our Navigation 360 program reality if we have students scattered across the building and not supervised properly? I'm also concerned about the morale of the teaching staff. Teachers are stressed and worried about the schedule change, and I don't say this lightly. I've been in the district 22 years. This is year 34 teaching in public education, and I do love it, and I love this community. But we've been through several schedule variations in the past 5 years, and teacher concerns regarding the supervision of students during the lunch and learn block have existed for 3 years, and they remain ongoing. And I would ask the board, I would ask the administration, and I know you all care about children as much as we do, but please listen to the adults who are charged with the implementation and management of the new high school schedule. We, the teachers, we're in the trenches, and we like to think that we know what works best for our students. And I'm only asking here, as my fellow colleagues, to please take the time to craft a new schedule. Again, not opposed to change, but a new schedule that works in the best interest of all stakeholders. And I do want to thank you, Dr. Christopher, because you did mention that you're going to be, along with Dr. Connolly, you're going to be holding scheduling meetings to continue to discuss this topic. and I certainly would like to be a part of that discussion. Thank you so much.
The next commenter is Nancy Wood.
Hi, I'm Nancy Wood, East Bradford. Recently, I had a very positive conversation with Dr. Conley. He took the time to answer my questions about the recommended high school schedule. In speaking with him, a few things became clear. First, Dr. Conley is passionate about improving how the district educates and engages our students. Second, he has an expansive vision for transforming secondary education in WCASD. And third, what the district is planning is way bigger than just a schedule change. From what Dr. Conley said, the new schedule is just one supporting piece of what sounds like a comprehensive overhaul of the high school program. Dr. Conley explained that while there will be a loss of instruction time per class, there will be a net increase in overall instruction time. That increase will be accomplished through a new goal for 95% of 9th through 11th graders to be fully scheduled with 8 credits of coursework and no study halls. To put that in context, an 8-credit course load is a math, ELA, science, social studies, physical education, foreign language, and 2 full additional courses on top. 3 years of 8 credits is more than the current minimum credits required to graduate. To reach this goal, Dr. Conley said that the minimum requirements for graduation will be revised. The course catalog and credit allotment will be revised. Course content is already being revised to fit a new instructional approach and pace. Lab periods will be eliminated from science courses. Music ensembles will need to change. There could be changes to leveling and GPA calculations. Staffing, seating, facilities, district policies, attendance tracking platforms, and professional development will all need to be reevaluated. The financial impact is currently unknown. All of the things that I just listed are necessary parts of what is being marketed as a schedule change. A schedule change doesn't require your vote, but all of these other things will. In other words, the community and all of you are being asked to support sweeping changes in piecemeal. Dr. Conley's vision for transforming education in WCASD sounds like it could be positive, but it is much more than just a schedule change, and we should call it what it is. This reimagining of the high school program might be in complete accordance with the district's vision of the future, but if it is, that's not clear to the community. If this is the beginning of a new direction, then there should be a transparent and fully documented plan, data to justify changes, and an impact analysis, budget projections, and a plan to monitor success. The full plan should be presented to the board for a vote before proceeding. Thank you.
The last commenter this evening is Judy DeFonso.
Hi, Judy DeFonso, back again, still living in East Goshen. Wanted to start out with something I should have said last week that I didn't, and that is that putting compostable trays into a landfill, even though there should be industrial composted, is definitely better than putting styrofoam into a landfill. I meant to say that last week and I didn't. I was trying to figure out what to come up and talk about this evening, and took some inspiration from a question last week about how does Collegium compare to other school districts. And I looked at Westchester, Downingtown, Coatesville, and Tredyffrin and Easttown, because let's just say they come up all the time. As far as the state average goes, Westchester is definitely above average. Downingtown is a little bit above us. And Tredyffrin is even higher than that, a good 8 points above Downingtown. We're like 4 points lower than Downingtown as far as ELA goes. And the state average is right down in the middle at 53%. That's 53% proficient or advanced. Collegium is 38 and Coatesville is 32.8 with ELA. And it just kind of, it was frustrating, first of all, because I couldn't find any data on charter schools. I found it on districts, but not on charter schools. And I want to kind of remind everyone that we haven't had the PSSAs for very long. They've only been around for about 25 years, but we've had SAT scores for almost 100 years. And these scores have always reflected household income. So it's the higher income families that tend to do better on these tests. And I mean, we put so much into getting kids to pass and wanting them to be proficient. And I'm just trying to figure out how we can kind of be like that Steubenville where they have 100%. I mean, like, that's like, gosh, it's like, it's mind-blowing to me. Anyhow, yeah, and I'll end with the statistic. Children of the top 1% of earners are 13 times more likely to score a 1,300 on the SAT than children of the lowest 5% of earners. So, again, it seems to be a reflection of income, and it's an unfortunate statistic, but that's kind of just the way things go. And if you want the data, let me know, and I'll type it up and I'll send it off to you. And if someone knows where to get the data on charter schools, let me know, because I found the districts but not the charter schools. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who took the time to come out and speak tonight. We appreciate your input. We've reached the end of the meeting. Our next monthly meeting will be on Monday, April 28th, 2025. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Dr. Dietrich, do I have a second? Director Christopher? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
You know what?
Alex got a promotion.
What's that?
Alex got a promotion.
I hereby grant you your PhD. Opposed, nay? Motion carries. You're welcome, Alex.
Moving in with David, I guess.